Welcome everybody. This is Randy's Den. If what you're looking at is the ISDT Q8, and I told you before in a previous video I was having trouble with it. It was acting wacky, and if you look, let me get my point here. This is all set up very technically, like, okay, see this arrow? Oh, get it in the screen. Right there is the arrow that points to this diode right there. That, oh my gosh, laundry time. That come off of the board and was roached. It had a big old roach hole in it, and it's super tiny. I mean, like, yeah, tiny. This is actually a lens. If you look, here's the edge of it. That's over this. Now I'm going to pull it back and bring you guys in the full shot, because you can't see it if I don't get this thing up under it. So I had to replace that. I had the board out and everything, but if I was gonna fight, what I'm fighting is this right here. See this tab? It's locked down. It's one of them locking tabs. You feed in the little flat flex, and it just kind of is a little force fit. It just is a little in, and you take this tab, and it's just is nice enough. Once you get it over, and boom, it locks down, and that's what's holding it in. And it's quite painful to try to get in. If you see, there's not much play, but if you look here, here's again where it was replaced. Let me get it in a shot. Let me back it up so you can see the whole plan here, because otherwise I'm not making any sense. I barely make sense anyway. But so if you look again, here was our diode right there. There's the arrow that's so perfectly worked out that I could orange mark it right there for the diode, and that's working our some type of our setup that's doing our balancing. As you see, all the transistors in line, and them are going to work out to each one of these pins to tell it, you know, the microcontroller is going to tell it which one it needs to drain, which one. I think is what it does is it brings them all up to 410, 415, whatever setting you set it at. For lithium ion, I go about 413. Bring it up to that, and then it cuts off. You'll have nothing going out as far as amperage, like 0.1, if that, milliamps, right? So then is what it's doing is it's trying to bring up that one. It stops feeding that, and it starts bringing up the lower ones. It takes a long time though. It's almost like it's one at a time. It seems to be doing it. But anyways, if I was to try to put that on camera, it would have been a flusterflut. And yeah, there would have been a lot of words that no one wants to hear. So I'm just checking to make sure everything. This is fighting why it won't go down. Doesn't quite make sense, but I believe it actually was kind of like that before. And the fan too actually comes out. That's just got a little plug-in, little JST plug-in that look like. So now we'll put the screws in, and the biggest thing of all is, and oh, here's the top. So this kind of make everything. Here's our little sensor board to scroll up, scroll down, or you hold it to click through your menus. Let me get my clean. Oh, let me put these in first. Then I'm going to make sure this is nice and clean. The little TFT screen. And put it together. Sorry about the water going there, or the water pump. Forgot I was doing laundry, and oh yeah, that should suck that down nice. Actually acts like the fan. See, the fan is nice and squared in there, so I mean it's definitely not the fan. It's just up a little bit. I think it'll be fine though. I do remember it being kind of tight before. Actually, it's above this even, where that sucked right down. Let me back that off just a little bit. Make sure I don't curse myself. You know what, I'm going to put these in by hand. Oh yeah, the timing of it all. The timing. Then we'll stick the top on and we'll give it a try, see if it's working again. It was just so wacky the way it was working before. Something else I gotta try to figure out is I want to put a temperature sensor in this, and one that goes right from the battery with the copper line right and hooks right up. That's what I really want to do. So it's good if this thing's running hot or not, but what if the battery's cooking, you know? Just for safety reasons, that sucked it right down nice actually. For safety reasons, I'd like to have temperature control on the battery, so I'm hoping that it'll transfer enough through that copper wire that's attached like you see on your hot water heaters and that it'll transfer it over enough and it'll cut it off. Let me grab I got one right here. Got some fancy microfiber or something. It come with my glasses when I ordered them. No matter how clean I try to keep stuff, it just dust. Just a lot of dust around here, down here, even throughout the house. And I keep up with the filter and everything, but you still just get tons of dust, it seems. Now, as far as the lenses, you know what I love and I've had very good luck with, even when you get paint on these lenses, if when you get it and it's brand new, obviously it's nice to save the pull-off sheet, you know, but you can't always all the time. Some of them come and they're so just kind of faded and beat up and even scratchy, kind of like this one is. If you look, it's kind of, let me get this down and on first. Make sure I nail that. Beautiful. Okay, cool. That fit down in there. Nice. Just sticking it back down. Making sure it takes. Oh, what's going on here? What is that going on here? That fan's spinning, right? Yeah, there's nothing holding the fan up. See how it's bumped out right there? I wonder if that fan's not sitting all the way down or something. Here's the very edge of it on the bottom. Oh, you know what? I bet it's got to come this way. I wonder if I can get in there enough to pull it. There was a way that it sits in and kind of like locked in, but I didn't think it was like that close. I thought it was up a little bit higher. But anyways, I think I'll be able to get away with it, but I'll still have to take it apart. I'm going to still keep this on just in case, but I like to use car wax. Car wax, nothing real nasty, but honestly turtle wax works good too, but the lighter stuff you can get like McGuire's, was it Carnauba, like stuff like that works the best. I had the best luck with it. And then if you get like paint splashed on this or something, like I'll show you sometime, like even on my TV, I got paint splashed on it, and you just go up and reel with if you can, like a piece of Teflon, like a scraper, a Teflon scraper, and it'll just pop it right off, because with the wax there and sticking like to the wax, even though you don't see it, instead of sticking to everything else that you don't want it to. Works pretty slick, believe it or not. Alright, I gotta hook up to them, so I need this. Let's see if this helps it any better. And if this isn't it, then it's gotta be part of the microcontroller, which is the problem. So, and we know how that's gonna go. That's not gonna be fun. This doesn't tell the voltage in. I do have 12 volts over here for my other charger. I'll just have to jumper it over. And what do I want to try to discharge or charge? I can try this battery. The single, or I got that. Just something. I need this to, let me put this on the 12 volt. I just got a little 12 volt pack here. It's a lot easier than trying to run a whole thing over. Okay, that's a good sign. Gosh, not wrong. Guess I don't have many short ones. Thought I did. I gotta get it together. Man, I struggle with videos. I have such a hard time. I have a hard time without doing videos, and then you put the video on top of it. It's just, yeah, my strobe effect. I have a hard time keeping it going and keeping up and paying attention and keeping everything, track of everything. Yeah. Just struggle with that pretty bad at times. But I think if I keep doing it, it eventually it keeps helping, I hope. So 4.1 volts. So what I want to do is a discharge. Let's see, we'll go, make sure you guys can see this well. Do I have to tilt it? So oh, that's the hookup on the battery. Alright, now I'm getting glare. Okay, I think you guys can see that, alright? There we go. So we got the 18650 hooked up. Hit this. Go to discharge is our task. Boom. Lithium ion, we'll go to 3 volts. We won't drop all the way down to that. But this, if sometimes this is a 1S. And we'll do half an amp. And we'll start. That's saying it's unbalanced, you meatball, what are you doing? You just say, okay, I know, I understand. And let it go. Says incoming voltage 12.3, 12.4 at 1 watt. That's what it's using. Out is, it means what the battery's reading, 3.7, 3.6, negative 2 watts. Somehow it's getting 2 watts out of that. Don't ask me. The fan should be kicking on here pretty quick once it builds up enough heat. And here is our temperature reading. I believe I have it set at 30 degrees Celsius. It'll kick on. So that should do it. Doesn't really help tell the balancing though. I'll just disconnect the battery over here on the balancer, I guess, and go with that. That way I kind of know what I have, because I just got, it looks like a bad cell over in this one over here. Yeah, I'll do that. 3.6, we're at 9 amp hours. Seems to be working better already. Okay, so this is stopped. So I can unplug this. Unplug these. We'll get this plugged in. So I'll stop. Just to make sure, we'll do a quick charge. 1S, lithium ion. It won't make it to 420, and it does. That's, well, maybe it will now, but before it was doing weird things. It would say that it's boop, it's good, it's at 420, but it would put like 2 milliamps into it, if nothing, and say, oh, you're fully charged, and you go test it and it's at 3.7, 3.8 volts. Now I'm talking not the short time we were just talking here, but like after 20, 30 minutes it'll do that, and it's like, that ain't right. Something ain't making sense here. That's what I mean. Wackiness goes on. still no milliamp hours, and it's saying 4.2. Now I only took 9 milliamps out of it, so see, it's trying to kick. Now it does jump once the milliamps go up. You'll see the voltage bounces up. You know, so it's reading the output voltage, but that's what it's pushing out. It just doesn't. Something ain't right. You know. Now when it's done, it definitely tells you when it's done. But I need to let it run longer. That little short 9 milliamp hours that we had isn't really enough to change it all that much to make anything noticeable. So it kind of was meaningless. It needs more time, and I'm not going to force you guys to sit here and painfully watch through that. Alright, let me get this hooked up. Which end does it go to? It goes this side. Should go this way. Or is it upside down? I can't remember. Every one of them's different too. It's why the frick can't anything be there? That, yeah, it is. It's upside down. That's how it works. See that what I mean about a bad cell? That cell, it was totally balanced. I mean, it took like 2 hours, and charged up and balanced the other day, we'll say 3 days ago, 4 days ago, and it's already like that far off. So we'll do a balanced charge. So we're doing charge, lithium-ion 5S, so it recognized it by plugging it in. We'll do that, and hold on, I want to try something. Lowest, I want to just check the